Hey guys, this is Kunal from TradingSim. I wanted to do another market recap. It's early in the morning here on June the 14th. I wanted to look at a trade on Netflix that was a pretty good gap retracement play that we see sometimes. If you look here on June the 10th, we had a big gap down on Netflix. Just draw a line here, right? We came back to right here, so this was a previous resistance area. We took it out, we gapped right down back to that level, and then what we did this morning, and I've already started the replay, it's at 9:42, but we gapped higher, so it's almost, if you're a candlestick guy, you can kind of look at this as an abandoned baby, but there is some overlap here, so between the bars, so you don't want to necessarily follow strict to the rule there, but there is a gap. The next logical place that we would want to go to is the close of that gap, which would roughly be around 97.10, give or take. So let me just pull this up again on a 1 minute chart. Sometimes in the mornings the 1 minute charts help us a little bit. You can kind of see everything looks pretty bullish here. We bounced off the 1 minute 9 EMA and we took off. If you really wanted to, you could have taken a long position here, but again, I wouldn't have done that for two reasons. Number one, it's very early in the morning. It's the first 6 minutes. I kind of like to stay out for at least 15, and secondly, we really don't have a volatile stock here per se yet. I mean, it's up 2%. It's nothing crazy, and we like to typically have volatility. So the trade here ended up being on the short side, and let me just walk you guys through that. So let's pull up the 5 minute chart. I'm going to start the replay here. I'm just going to keep moving it. Right, so we kind of keep moving up towards that daily resistance level, which is right up here. So there's some consolidation going on here, and starting to break through that level. And what we're seeing now is we're coming right into that daily resistance. So again, let me just go back to a 5 minute scale. And so what we did here is we ticked over that 97.17, so we got about 97.10 was the previous close. And so now what we are starting to see is it's basing again. So the question is, can we break out above 97.17-ish? That would probably give us a good sign that we might be able to go long here. Now, I want you to take note what happened here on a 1 minute chart. So we broke through this daily resistance at 97.18 is what the level was. We pulled back to the 9 EMA. 9 EMA is really caught up to the price. It's getting very tight up here. And what we're seeing here is we ticked right over this. So 97.20, ticking right over this 97.18 high. And so this is an important tick. And so if I look at the support levels here, that on a short term, if I'm really scalping on the short term, I want to keep an eye on this level right here, 96.76, because this could have been a juke. This could have sucked in some long traders who were looking to chase the momentum, and if they take it below 96.76, that could signal at least a short term scalp. And there is some more credence to this resistance level, just given that on the daily charts we're seeing pretty stiff resistance in the form of a gap, but gap fill. So let me just, okay, so 96.80, right? We're about 4 cents away. 53. All right, so now we've confirmed a breakdown here, at least on the short term. And the next logical point of support would probably be around the 9 EMA at around 96. Does it necessarily have to get there? No. It could form a reversal bar here and just continue to take off. That's possible, but if we're trading on the 5-minute charts, there's two things that we want to note here. First is you can see this 5-period RSI is about hitting 96. It's pretty extended. Does it mean we're going to short because we see 96? Absolutely not. That's a recipe for disaster. But if you can kind of marry that with what you're seeing on the price and the volume action, and the resistance level analysis, you have a higher probability trade. So we went up to 97.18, 97.20. We formed a base here at 96.76, 96.77. Took it down. We looked at the 1-minute chart, and you saw that break. And so now, you could have taken a short up here, and maybe you wouldn't have put such a large position on, but you could have taken a short up there with the expectation this might want to come back to the 9 EMA. So let's just see what happens here. So we did a little retracement right there. We went right back to that 96.80 area that we broke down from, and we tested it and failed. And we're breaking down again. And so, sometimes what you're going to see here is they will come down to the 9 EMA and they'll miss it by like 2 or 3 cents, right? The EMA is a sliding average, so it's not an exact science, but it came down here, it missed it by, couple pennies, and it's looking like it wants to try and form us, some support there. And then we did eventually get it here. So, a scalper is going to look to get out at the 9 EMA if there's support forming there on the first touch of the 9 EMA. I mean, this is sometimes a buy. This is typically a buy signal when you come back to the 9 in the morning. So you could have covered your short there if you were scalping, and you could have even gone long above 96.59. And your expectation is that you could get above 96.80. You'd really want to watch 96.80 and get above that area to confirm that this thing could go back and attack the highs of the day. So we got to 96.85. Let's see what happens here. So at this point, what we're seeing, right, we got to move up to 97. So everything's looking good, actually. So if you took a long 96.60, call it, you had to move up to 97 with the expectation that you would come into those highs. Now what's happening here is this thing is stalling. So if I'm looking on the 5-minute chart, there's something very important that happened here. So we did a double test. We did a double top essentially right here. So at 96.60 was my entry. I would have to put a stop at break even because that was essentially right around where the 9 EMA was. And what we're seeing now is a breakdown in the making. So it came back to the 9 EMA. The expectation was that we would charge to new highs. If we don't, we're going to be cautious in this position, and now what we're seeing here is a breakdown of the 9 EMA. So I would have covered that long position or sold out of that at break even, and now gone short here. We look like we're forming a good sized top in this area, and on the short term, right, we're breaking 9 EMA. We're breaking this. Sorry, right here. There's some support breaking down through it. So we want to go short Netflix right there. And I'm just going to let this thing play out. So now, if you're a short, right, you'd want to see this this level right here, 96.29 broken, which is what we did. There may be some support here, and in this case, there was not. So. If we're trying to trade this, let's just pull up Fibonacci. Let's see. Start it from here. Okay. Sorry. So about 95.38 is going to be a support area. We want to keep an eye on this stock now. If it's trending down, we want to see the 9 EMA hold this thing back, which it is trying to do here. So our sign below 95.71 would be bearish, and it did break it. So we're going to expect this stock to go to 95.50, 95.38. And let me just move it a little bit faster here. So, you know, as a short, you have no reason to cover. You know, and this is one of those things where you want to eat your gains. You know, you typically, you know, a lot of guys will take big losses and they'll make small gains. It's the psychology of not letting their winners run and cutting their losers short. They kind of do the opposite. And so, you know, you just want to sit on your hands in this scenario. This thing is trending down. It's holding the 9 EMA. The expectation at this point is to go test the morning's lows at 94.58 and then potentially go and fill this gap down here. The one thing to keep in mind is that you know, the market is pretty bearish on this trading day. The NASDAQ is down, you know, 0.6%. Nothing crazy at the moment, but you know, you want to keep an eye on how that market is moving as well. Let's go back to Netflix. So we did creep above 9 EMA right here. You know, you could have taken some of that position off, that short. You probably could have taken at least half of it off, if not all of it right there. You know, at this point, though, we have broken down. Let me move this trend line. Oh, sorry, wrong trend line. Let's move this right here. We did break the lows of the morning that I had mentioned earlier. So, you know, this was an area that you'd kind of look for a resistance, and we did find it. But we started to break a little bit above it. If you got a little bit antsy there, maybe you could have taken half of the position off. But it just failed again. So, you know, our support would be right around 93.77 now. And that's exactly where we went in. And then, so my expectation here, I'd be covering the rest of it. We're coming into the end of the day now. So, anyways, I hope this trade example helped. This, you know, it's tough to kind of sit on your hands, and especially in a simulator, it's kind of tough, you know, when you're not watching tick by tick. But you know, you kind of have to train your mind to eat these gains when you get them. And so, if you have any questions, you need any help, email us at admin@tradingsim.com. And I wish you the best of luck. Thanks.